Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and this is another sponsored Blade and Soul video. Now, I'm not going to be doing another sponsored video for probably a few more weeks on Blade and Soul. I am going to do a video on Mushin's Floor 8, and I am going to do a video on Naryu's. Those are both going to be unsponsored, but I wanted to take this time to now kind of address the state of Blade and Soul. So a lot of people always ask me, especially since Black Desert came out, how is Blade and Soul doing? Is it improving? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? So I figured I would just give you my thoughts, some of the good, some of the bad, and ways that the game is looking to be shaping over the next year. I've done some videos about this in the past, but this is going to be one that's more just up to date. I'm just going to be playing, doing my dailies while I'm doing this. So if I occasionally go silent because I'm focusing, apologies. So I'm going to start with the good, things that I've been enjoying about Blade and Soul over the past several weeks, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the things I want to see improved on Blade and Soul going forward. And it's really mostly localization things, like things that are only problems because it came over here to the West, and problems that probably don't exist over in the Korean version, but we'll see, and you guys can correct me. Feel free to correct me in the comment section of the video below. So first of all, state of Blade and Soul. How's the population? Population is still going strong. I look at my chat and I still see tons of people that aren't gold farmers. I want to make that designation, that aren't gold farmers, that are pretty much just always in my, I'm always seeing people looking for groups. I'm always really quick to get a group. It's pretty much still going strong population-wise. It has only been a year and a half or so, I believe, but still a lot of people always look to that, especially when an MMO releases here in the West, because I mean that's just the thing that people look at. They want to know how many people are playing the game. I'd say that it's still a very strong amount. Obviously it's not like crazy, but luckily the game focuses mainly on 4-man and 6-man content, so it actually works out pretty well. Also, why am I killing this guy when he's not even claimed to me? I'm just gonna back off and go do the dailies that are over here first. So, population is still going strong, which means it's easy to find groups for content. I've literally not had more than like a 15-second wait to at least start finding people for a group, and no more than a minute's wait usually for finding groups for entire dungeons, whether that's 4 or 6-man in the party finder, though I don't recommend doing too many 4-mans in the dungeon finder as a whole. Now, speaking of which, always looking for groups for content, because content's being released at a fast pace. That's always another big thing over here in the West, is we like to clear through content pretty quickly. So if a game isn't updating fast enough, then a lot of times I'm going to probably die here because there's a lot of Crimson, it seems. Then we'll usually lose interest in the game. It's a pretty normal thing, and Blade and Soul is aggressively launching content. I mean, there's no way to avoid that. January 19th, the game was officially launched after early access. We had another patch like February 10th after that. We had another patch just on March 2nd. And now we're just waiting for the level 50 level cap increase because we don't know when that's going to be. I'm assuming based on the rate content's been releasing that it's going to be in the next 3 to 4 weeks. That's just going to be my guess. There's nothing official about that. And except this party invite so this guy can get credit for this. It's just been good. And on top of that, they've been giving us weekly updates on the game, which is something that I always enjoy. It's one thing I enjoy about Final Fantasy XIV is that we get those monthly updates. It's very important to me that developers and community managers and whatnot stay in contact with their community, because otherwise there's just such a disconnect, and it's honestly a huge turn-off for me when it comes to MMO gaming. The PvP is still good, but I will talk a little bit more about that. 1v1 3v3s has always been this game's strong point. I don't think many would argue against that, but like I said, there is something in particular with regards to PvP, mostly because of the Zen Bean reward now, that is a little discouraging, and hopefully it is fixed sometime soon. Next we have the big one, and obviously this is going to sound like a total sellout thing right here, because you guys are already calling me out on this all the time because this is a sponsored video, is that NCSoft has been supporting the people who play their game, who enjoy their game. I mean, let's be real here. There's a lot of people that do sponsored videos, sponsored content for Blade and Soul, and I'm not going to hide behind it. But it's because NCSoft is like, okay, this person enjoys our game. Let's support them and make sure that they feel comfortable playing our game. And honestly, as a broadcaster, somebody who's done a lot of videos for Square Enix over the years, and while I know some people, I've gotten very little attention from them in terms of Twitch, in terms of YouTube. So it's nice to have a company that when they see you enjoying their game, they go out of their way to make sure that you are comfortable and that you're enjoying it a lot. If I ever wasn't enjoying Blade and Soul, I would stop playing in a second. But luckily, every time I hit a 11k crit with my friggin' lightning draw, like you just saw right there, it reminds me what I do enjoy. I enjoy the combat. And that's pretty much not going to change. I don't see it changing anytime soon. Now that being said, not everything's perfect in Blade and Soul. No game has everything perfect. Like, let's be real here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the things I need to see Blade and Soul improve on, especially when it comes to their content release schedule. So just have a few notes here. First, I just want to really quickly cover. I said the PvP is good right now, and it is, but these Destro bots got to go. There's basically a reward called Zen Beans from arenas. And you can use those to buy soul stones if you get enough of them. Now, if you're a really low rank in PvP, you get barely any soul stones. I believe when you hit gold or platinum, I can't remember right now, you actually get a higher ranking bag that allows you to get more soul stones. And that makes sense. You know, you're better at PvP, you get a little bit better rewards. It makes sense to me. Wow, that guy beat me because of the frame drops. But that being said, it's completely discouraging. I've seen people that are like literally level like 20 getting to platinum just because they're going up against Destro bots, and there's just Destro bots completely taking up all the space for the early elos. So it's pretty crazy. I hope it gets fixed soon because that is extremely discouraging for PvP, although I'm sure that the less skilled players are having a blast because they're getting all these free Zen Beans and all these free, they're getting up to their rankings and they're getting more soul stones, which means they're making more money. Now, the big thing that I really want to discuss in this video, and this is the only thing that has really begun to kind of get to me in Blade and Soul. Like, when I play it, I go, oh, man, how am I even going to do this? The game is updating at such a fast pace that if you are not playing it hardcore, it is hard to remain invested in the game, mostly because you literally just fall behind. Now, I am used to playing Final Fantasy XIV. I'm used to playing other modern MMOs where falling behind is never really an issue. You kind of just miss content, but you don't ever fall to a point where you can't catch up to what's current. Blade and Soul is not that way, mostly because of the upgrade system. Now, the upgrade system, if for those who don't know, although most of you probably do at this point, basically has you get one weapon earlier in the game, one accessory, one ring, one necklace, all that stuff, and you upgrade it over the course of your playtime. You know, you get the weapon from this dungeon, and you upgrade it to the next point. Which, like, this point I need a Siren Sword from the Black Rain Supply Chain. Not a rare sword, but still, in fact, I think I can even buy that from this, but that's not even where the problem lies. Can I get a friggin'... Yeah, I can. Sealed Siren Sword. Just need 40 Siren Emblems. That's not bad at all. But you mean you need to do that for every single item. Like, I need a Pirate Necklace from Bloodshade or Nightshade Harbor. Again, not a problem. It's really easy to come across. And then I need all of these upgrade materials, and then it costs me 23 gold to upgrade. So basically, when there's new content being released every 3 weeks, if you're not playing every day, doing your dailies every day, farming the 4 and 6 mans for drops like the Hong Moon skills, grinding out Hong Moon levels every day, it's hard to stay caught up, especially because the community, of course, wants you to have minimum attack power going into content, especially if they're trying to avoid the dungeon finder. And as somebody who doesn't play this hardcore, I play it for a week, new content patch comes out, I go and I try to do all the stuff, like I'm doing Mushin Tower Floor 8, didn't already use Labyrinth earlier, I try to do all that, and then I go back and I play my other games, and then I come back whenever there's a new patch. It's a pretty simple thing to do. Blade and Soul is pretty much my casual MMO, but it's not a game that's designed to be a casual MMO. And for me, that's a problem. For those who like the game and play it every day, it's perfect, because it means you're always upgrading. You're never hitting that point where you're like, well, why do I even log in? I have everything that I need. You're not hitting that point, because that point doesn't come until, like, God knows how long from now when we're caught up to the Korean version of the game. But for those who want to play the game, but they don't want to play it hardcore, they want to play it a little bit, maybe stay premium, maybe spend a little bit of money on it, it's very difficult. And as somebody who does these sponsored videos, who does these sponsored streams, it's difficult to stay up to date with all that stuff. So I did talk to NCSoft about it. I was in their office, I don't remember how many days ago it was. I think it was last week. I do not... Oh, okay. I guess there's a group here farming this guy. I won't even get credit because I'm not even in a group. I'll probably just die horribly, and then, yep. Remember when I said that's exactly what would happen? Yep, I was not wrong. Maybe if I turn off the character... Well, yep. Okay, well, I can actually see what he's doing, but I don't think it's going to change because he... I don't know what his attack pattern is in comparison to most things. Yeah, this is just one of the world bosses, one of the endgame world bosses. Also, his name is kind of cut off at the top of the screen, because he's like this is like a PvP world boss kind of deal, where if you basically whoever does more damage, Cerulean or Crimson, the two factions, they're the ones that get control over him. So as you can see, it's a bit rough right now, and especially because aggro's all over the place. This guy killed me so many times back when I first hit level 45. He also hits really fast. His attacks are really... Oh, that's not good. Alright. I should probably not fuck around, because I'm probably not actually going to even get... Alright, he's just going to kill me. I'm probably not even going to actually get credit for this. So, I should probably be a little bit more careful. He also drops keys, which you can use for upgrading. Oh, come on now. In the middle of a video, it's pouring my heart out, and I shouldn't have decided to fight this guy. So that's one thing I want to see them improve. I want to see them make it so that, you know, if I want to leave for a couple of weeks, I don't feel like it's pretty much like, it's an uphill battle trying to rejoin the game, is basically all I'm trying to say. And you can kind of see it right here. The last thing I want to talk about, it still suffers from optimization issues, which, you know, it's 2016. This game officially launched in 2012. And then on top of that, you know, it was in development since, what, 2009 or something like that? You know, I wish it didn't still have those, Jesus Christ. I'm just fucking scared, alright? Why am I still trying to fight this guy? Alright, well, I think I've learned my lesson. He just attacked. I just gotta learn his pattern. I've never fought this guy before. I've only fought the other one. So those are the things I want to see improved. Otherwise, it will stay tough. It will be tough for me to continue doing Blade and Soul just because of that reason. But when I did speak to them at the office, they did seem to understand that was an issue, that the economy is not exactly progressing in a way that is accessible to the majority of people. And I just died again, so it doesn't even matter. I didn't get any loot. I already know I didn't get any loot, so... You usually need to be in like a party of 6, otherwise you don't get loot from this. That's just the way it works. If you don't do that, why are these people spamming 9999999? I have no idea why. They just said they understood it. They understood that the economy is not exactly welcoming for people who don't play hardcore. If you don't do your dailies every day, it's rough. Whether that's to collect soul stones, whether that's to make gold, it's rough. So maybe we'll see an improvement on that. I hope we do, because the next patch is level 50, and the last thing people are going to want to do is go and do all the level 45 stuff to upgrade to a true weapon in order to even move towards their first upgrade into the expansion, into Silver Frost. So that's the best I can really say. Hopefully you guys will continue to watch the Blade and Soul videos that I've been putting out. Thank you for listening to my ramblings on Blade and Soul right now. And I guess maybe I should have mentioned that the Hong Moon skills are also really... Look at this. Want to see what we're talking about expensive-wise? Here, let me kill this guy. Let me show you what I'm talking about money-wise. Like, how it feels to not stay current on the game all the time. Here, let me see. F5, Lightning Draw Volume 2. It's 289 gold. Now, if I were to use currency exchange, which is another thing I should probably talk about, I wouldn't even... first of all, that's not even the one I need. That's Blade Dancer. This is the Blade Master one, which is there for 512 gold. So, yeah, no way that's happening. Because if I were to spend real money on that, that's like $400 or something like that. Because, yeah, that's another thing that some people can't get behind, is there is a currency exchange where you can sell gold in the game for N coin, or for Hong Moon coins, which you can use on the cash shop. Or you can buy it with N coins. So you can basically try to spend that. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean you can go beat all the content. Or actually, fortunately, it means that it's not pay to win. It means that you can just pay to basically have gold to actually use if you're not doing your dailies every day. And most of the hardcore people, like I say, they sell gold. They just sell the gold to the market and get Hong Moon coins pretty much. And everyone's happy. I'm surprised that an in-game currency exchange is actually working pretty well here. Normally, I wouldn't condone such a thing, but it's actually been fairly successful, and I don't hear anyone complaining about it. People complain more about the RNG boxes on the friggin' cash shop, which, to be fair, I know some people who have spent quite a bit of money on those. So, yeah, I mean, those things, that's really just... I feel like I'm falling behind. So I don't know if I can keep covering it. Maybe I'm going to try doing Silver Frost whenever it comes out. We'll see what it happens. We'll see when it happens, what I'm going to do. But thank you for listening to my idle ramblings on Blade and Soul. That is how I feel the state of the game is right now. For those of you who are enjoying it, hopefully you continue to enjoy it. I think it's still a fun game. I think the PvP is still top. I'm glad the PvE is being released at this rate, because I am more of a PvE player. So... overall, thumbs up. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. Stay tuned for the Naryu Labyrinth and Mushin's Tower. Those are going to be non-sponsored. I just want to put them out because I feel like I should be covering everything in every patch. So anyway, thank you for watching again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care.